Hello everyone. Let us learn about squares and square roots today. This is really important topic in mathematics and will be utilized in future classes as well. What is the square of a number? Square of a number is power 2 of any number. For example, 2 raised to power 2, which is 2 into 2. So we represent a square as an a raised to power 2, which is a into a in general. For example, 5 raised to power 2, 5 into 5, so 25 is the square of 5. Similarly, we can write a square for a rational number as well, 2 raised to power 3 raised to power 2, which is 4 by 9. So we can say 4 by 9 is a square of 2 by 3. Similarly, we can write square for decimal number as well. 1.5 into 1.5 is 2.25, so we can say 2.25 is a square of 1.5. So in above examples we can say 25, 4 by 9, 2.25 are perfect squares of some numbers like 5, 2 by 3 and 1.5. So a number is called a perfect square if it can be expressed as a square of any rational number. There are many cases where a number cannot be perfect square and we cannot find a number whose square it is exactly. Okay, so that is not called a perfect square. We'll learn more about it when we go ahead with this chapter. Now let us learn about some properties of a square number. No need to memorize these. When you do some practice, it will automatically come. First property we can say even numbers square is always even. Why? Just think of any even number and restrict your thinking from 0 to 9, because each and every number ends with 0 and 9, and when we multiply with itself, then the same number will be multiplied. For example, take a case of 23 or 24 in this case. So 24 into 24, what we are doing, 4 into 4 multiplies first. So whatever is the answer of 4 into 4 will be the first digit, which will decide whether it's an even number or odd number. So any even number you take between 0 to 9, the multiplication of number with itself will be even number. That's why any given even number square is always even, and same holds true for odd number. If you take any odd number and multiply with itself, the answer will always be a odd number. Now the third property is square of a proper fraction is less than given fraction. What does it mean? What is a proper fraction? The proper fraction is the fraction which is less than 1, or we can say numerator is always smaller than denominator. That is a proper fraction. Let us take an example to understand it better. For example, 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is a proper fraction because 1 is smaller than 2, so numerator is smaller than denominator. Now if you do square of this, then it will be 1 by 4. 1 by 4, if you convert into decimal, is 0.25 or 1/4 we can say, right, which is always smaller than 1 by 2 or half. So the above property holds good. If any proper fraction, if we square it, the square of that proper fraction will always be less than the fraction number itself. In case of improper, it is reverse, because number is always greater than 1. For example, 3 by 2 is improper fraction where 3 is numerator and greater than denominator. 9 by 4, which is, if you convert it to decimal, it becomes 2.25, and 3 by 2 is 1.5. So we can see that 2.25 is greater than 1.5, or in general we can say square of an improper fraction is always greater than the given fraction. Now the fifth one is really interesting property of a square number. From 0 to 9, just do square of any number and you will see, or maybe you do square for every number. Okay, For example, 0. 0 into 0 is 0. 1 into 1 is 1. 2 into 2 is 4. 3 into 3 is 9. 4 into 4 is 16. The last number is 6. 5 into 5 is 25. The last number is 5. 6 into 6 is 36. The last number is 6. 7 into 7 is 49. The last number is 9. 8 into 8 is 64. The last number is 4. 9 into 9 is 81. The last number is 1. So we have done a square from 0 to 9, and we have seen that there are some numbers missing at the end, and we are getting only 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9. Maybe you can repeat this exercise in your notebook and see if we are getting any other number than these numbers. So basically what we are missing is 3, then we are missing 7, and then we are missing 8. These 3 numbers are, and 2. These 4 numbers are missing, and those are never part of any square number. Another interesting property of a square number is, if a particular number has n zeros, its square will have 2n zeros, or zeros becomes double. Let us take a very simple example. 100 square is 10,000. 100 has 2 zeros, 10,000 has 4 zeros. 50 square is 2005 square 1000. So 50 has 1 zero and 2500 has 2 zeros. So zeros are getting doubled. If a number has zeros, zeros will get doubled if we do the square of that particular number. So these were some important properties. Do not memorize, just do it once in your notebook. I think you will be able to recall it whenever it is required. Now let us jump the other way around. So far we have discussed about a square of number. Now let us discuss about how to find the square root of a number. Square root is the reverse of a square. So a number is given, we have to find a square root of that particular number. So the square root of a number is a number which gives original number after multiplying by itself, or whatever answer we get, if you multiply the answer with itself, then we will get again the particular number from which we are finding the square root. It is represented by using a special sign which is called radical sign. Why it is called radical? Because first Latin word radix, and which means root. So from Latin this sign is taken and it is called radical sign. So how do we represent it? Square root. Square root of 25 is 5. So if you multiply 5 with 5, then the original number 25 comes. Similarly, square root of 2.25 is 1.5, and there are many different type of roots we need to find, and that's how we represent the roots. First one is square root. Second, when you put 3 with this particular radical sign, it becomes cube root, because now we have to find a cube root of that particular number. If you put 4 there, then it becomes fourth root, and then if you put n there, it is called nth root, where n is index and a is called radicand. So the number inside this particular sign of which we need to find a particular root is called radicand, and the number outside this sign is called index. Don't worry too much about all these things, we'll learn as we go to next classes or next chapters. It was the introduction of squares and square roots. I hope now you have a better understanding about squares and square roots and you enjoyed the session. Some practice is required at home to understand it a better way. Still, if you have some doubts, please write in comment section. We can discuss and try to solve all this problem so you don't face any problem. We'll see you in next class. Till then, bye bye, have fun.